If you're not calling out sin, there is something wrong with you. You need to start calling out sin because that's what Christ called us to do.
Yo, it's Digital Diego, and I had an awesome experience on the podcast. I'm so grateful I was able to share how good God is and a little bit of my story. If you're looking for truth and real life godly discussions, you gotta tune in.
My experience on Preach's podcast was real, raw, and powerful because they talked about things most people don't have the courage to talk about. This podcast gave me space to share my testimony and glorify God.
If it wasn't for Preach, I wouldn't have a new view on a lot of things. If you die today, what's going to happen? And it's a beautiful thing, the fact that he would actually, open up my mind a lot more. So it's just so beautiful.
It is happening. All this stuff. So in North Korea, a 2-year-old, not 5, not 10, but a 2-year-old little girl is sentenced to life in prison. Guess why? Not for saying something against the leaders, the government, but just for having a Bible. Mind you this, in a lot of countries, you cannot have the Bible. You cannot bring other religions in their country because they don't allow it. They only allow their religion. If you are against their God and their religion, you die. Do you see the freedom that we actually have in America? The freedom of religion? Yes, we know that the government and different things, different people in high places are trying to make us like a third world country, like a socialist country, or different things like that. We know this, but it's not here yet. That's why I'm telling Christians we actually need to be bold. Because you say, oh my goodness, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this, because you're trying to conform to the world and be a part of it, except for being out from this world and be separated from it. Like I said, when you was in sin, you was bold in it. You enjoy sin. You embrace sin. You boast about sin. You was proud of sin. Now, some people, when they finally went down to that moment of like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do this. They wasn't happy. And there's some people that was, oh, I only did it for a certain amount of things. I didn't have fun doing this, different things like that. But depends on what it is. But the majority of people, when we was a sinner, we enjoyed it. We embraced it. We was bold about it, bragged about it. But right when you become a Christian, you're ashamed about it. You don't want to talk about your, let's say, your little encounter with God. You don't want to talk about that. You might tell your testimony, but you're not bold to talk about your faith in the public. But this little girl had a Bible and she was not afraid. And the saddest thing about it, she might die because in their country they don't treat their prisoners well as we do. Because in our law we have to give our prisoners 3 meals a day. And their thing, you get whatever they get you and give you. It can be murdered. It can be human waste. It's terrible. It's terrible. So this is a wake-up call to every Christian. It's time to be bold, because if we start living in a time where they actually start doing this to Christians, what are you going to do? Are you going to be those bad person that say, oh, I really was never a Christian, knowing that God saved you from a life that you don't want to go back to, but now you're scared to die, so you don't know what to say, so now you're denying Christ like Peter did. But unlike Peter, you're not going to get a second chance. And then you're going to be saying, Lord, after they leave, I really didn't mean it. Forgive me. Forgive me. There's no forgiveness for you. You're done. You denied him because you're afraid of the penalty of death. And I get it. We all need to get bolder. But some is bolder than others. Way bolder than others. Because a lot of people trying to be like how the world labels it as cool is really not cool. So it's time to be bold for Christ, strong in your faith, and unashamed about Christ. Hi everybody, it's your boy Preach. Thank you for watching the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also catch up on the latest podcast episode where we talk about the Bible and we talk about politics and so much more. God bless you. And don't forget to be bold for Christ.